Karibu sana bro.
Asante sana.
Nice to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Nimebambika sana kwa.
We've never met.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see you and I mazee tuko pamoja.
Tuko hiyo sako.
Sijita Baldilocks.
Mnyi mnaita Baldilocks?
Baldilocks, yeah.
Si bald man sako.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it, man.
Love it, yeah.
Bro, it's really, really nice to have you. And I'm absolutely blown away that you're doing something that I desire to do.
What's that? Yeah.
You know, you're doing the triathlon.
Okay.
So I don't enjoy running. Mm-hmm. Once I start doing it, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I have to work myself to get out of the house and go running.
Like you have to switch on.
I have to switch myself on, kabisa.
Yeah.
But I'm absolutely blown away that, you know, that you're doing something that's probably not very popular in Kenya. Yes. But probably we could be really good at.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
With the triathlon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And man, bro, first, thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'm really humbled that you said that.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly what you said is exactly what my ambition is.
Mm-hmm.
Kenya, you're right. Triathlon is not very popular. Mm-hmm. And one of the missions that I have is how can we put this sport out there? Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why. If you look at the swimming circles, I started out as a swimmer. Manzemi nilikuwa na duf mpararo, duf ya kawaida. Unakumbuka duf mpararo?
Yeah, ilikuwa na swimming style tu moja, doggy style. You know, paddle hivi, yeah.
Alafu kichwa iko nje.
Bas.
Na anywhere, any water body, river, lake,
Haijalishi.
chlorine, Olympic size pool.
The same style.
The same style.
Yeah.
But you see, that's like most kids like us grew up like that, yeah? But
yeah,
anyway,
we didn't have access to pools. Most of us to grow.
We didn't. We didn't.
Yeah.
But the swimming circuit in Kenya is very mature in the sense that sai ukienda every weekend there's swimming meets, and there's kids from age 7 all the way up to age 16. I started swimming when I was 5 years old, and I swam all the way until when I was in my early 20s. Now the problem with swimming,
And this is like proper swimming.
Proper swimming, yeah. I, highest level represented Kenya, represented the province Nairobi and all of that.
That's what's up.
Yeah. The issue, bro, with swimming is ukifika 16 years old, kuna track mbili unaweza enda.
Yeah.
Either uingie Olympic track, ama utoke uendele na maisha. And Olympic track, very few people can make it to the Olympics. Now, the greatest Olympian of all time is Michael Phelps.
Yes.
Phelps retire from competitive sports when he was in his early 20s. And that's the trouble with swimming. So you achieve so much when you're young.
Yeah.
Ukifika hiyo 18, 19, 20, imeisha.
What?
As opposed to
actually,
ball, wase wanza kushika sa ile wako 19, 20,
yeah. I mean, saizi Messi anacheza and he's like, you know, he's like 37. Yeah. Ronaldo anaendelea is like 39.
39.
Yeah.
Akina Neymar 30s.
Yeah.
But now like the 20-year-olds though wanaanza kudevelop wakienda.
Yeah.
So the problem there is swimmers wengi, talented Kenya, wana drop off from sports.
Yeah.
Because hakuna motivation ya kufanya sport.
Hakuna motivation ya kuingia kwa swimo na vitu kama, I mean, continue alafu
yeah. Tunaona na uendi Olympics na hakuna competitive swimming nyingine unafanya. But now there's an opportunity to go somewhere else. Unaweza ingia triathlon. And if you look at the world, yani the top triathletes sai kwa dunia walianza na swimming.
Oh wow.
Walianza na swimming, they did swimming and then transitioned into triathlon. So to me, like one of the things and one of the ambitions that I have is how can we create this environment where all these dope swimmers are getting into triathlon?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kenya has has an incredible running ability as well.
Oh,
wanakimbia.
The funny thing about it, if you travel abroad, alafu wasiwambiwa say that you're from Kenya, they automatically assume you're a good runner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Na kumbe tu ni wase wa region moja.
Yeah, that's it.
But that not lost, yeah? Kenya, wase wanakimbia, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, triathlon, there's an opportunity for us.
Yeah.
Because they are swimmers, as I told you, at an early age.
Yeah.
And if you transition these guys into triathlon, we can get to the top. But yeah, up on your mindset yangu iko.
Bro, and I've seen a couple of guys wakifanya zoezi hapa hivi at the waterfront, at Maji Magic.
Yeah.
Because they have that huge man-made dam hapo hivyo ndani.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing guys wakienda kufanya zoezi hapo. So nauliza, wasema kuja tu kusim, I mean, you can do that.
Yes.
But these are guys who are doing the triathlon.
Yes.
Is that the same place where you go for your nini?
Yeah. So for triathlon, for example, I'll tell you about one triathlon that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But you have to, for the swim, you have to practice for the race that you'll do.
Yeah.
So the race can either be in an ocean, utaswim kwa ocean, ama utaswim kwa river, ama utaswim kwa dam.
Yeah.
So hiyo inaitwa open water. So kutrain kwa swimming pool ni sawa, like most of the time train kwa swimming pool.
Yeah.
Lakini ni muhimu sana uende kutrain kwa dam,
Yeah.
so that you simulate the environment which you'll race in. That's why wase who train hapa pia
Yeah.
kwa dam. Yeah.
And this is nice actually, because at least you know what's there.
Exactly.
And the place is maintained nicely.
It's really good.
The water is chlorinated.
Yeah.
Because they do a good job in terms of taking care of the space.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to triathlon, nimesema, it's something I want to do.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Kwanza nataka kusort out may pick up injury ya magoti lakini sawa.
Pole.
But it's something I feel I want to do.
Yeah.
And kuna wasi wengi mazee who are, I think the many guys who listen to the podcast, I think, or watch it, ni wasi they pretty much want to keep fit.
Yes.
And they want to stay healthy.
Okay.
Unacheki. Yeah. So a big shout out kwanza to all of you guys.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to the triathlon, I know it's not easy because you're talking about three things.
Yes.
Lazima uswim.
Yes.
And it's like a distance. Alafu lazima ukimbie. Hiyo ni distance ingine. Alafu uchukue bike. And that's like another longer distance.
Yeah.
So like now here, where you're saying that there are many guys who are, Kenyans, I think kuna gift God ametupatia ya for being fit.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yes.
How do you get into these things, Bana? Is this something that Kenyans can be able to pick up and be able to run with it, Amazi?
Yeah. First of all, Manze, thank you for offering this platform. You're saying the guys who listen to your podcast are very outdoorsy, sporty. And
I believe, ni wasi wako health conscious.
Hiyo ni fiti sana. Endelea hivyo. Hiyo ni muhimu. I think, the biggest, right now, the number one thing that's killing people is cardiac arrest. Roho. And by the way, that thing, you and I can remove ourselves from that danger by just being outside.
Yeah.
So if we get the world moving, we're going to be in a good place. To answer your question, bro, triathlon is not complicated. All you need to do is to get into a routine. What I always say is when people ask me, man, say, hizi vitu zote unafanya Nanjero? And it's not just those three.
Yeah.
Lazima uende gym ufanye strength training. Yeah. Lazima uende ufanye yoga, lazima stretch nini. But I always say, if you get into a routine, utakuwa tu sawa. And let me tell you why for me, triathlon actually worked more than doing swimming individually or doing running individually, ama kucycle individually, ama kufanya zile vitu polycarp upenda crossfit, ama kwenda gym.
Polycarp anapenda crossfit mbaya.
I'm sure sahi amefanya 30 minutes.
Ni kweli, man. Hey.
So bro, to me, ilinibamba because ina break monotony, bro. If I swim on Monday, on Tuesday start swim, then nikimbie. When I run on Tuesday, and then if I run on Tuesday, on Wednesday I'll be on my bike.
Yeah.
If I'm on my bike on Wednesday, on Thursday I'll go to the gym. And you see what that does for you, because human beings struggle with like consistency.
Yeah.
The consistency of doing something over and over again. And you'll hear from like marathon runners. My friends who are marathon runners at the elite level, they'll tell you, Nanjero, there's no shortcut. You have to put in the hours. So what triathlon does for you is it breaks that monotony, bro.
Yeah.
So leo kikimbia, kama we najua tumeongea hapo una struggle kuamka kukimbia. Kesho uta struggle because itakuwa swimo.
I mean, once I'm in the rhythm, I'm in the rhythm.
Exactly.
If I don't go run, I'm like, there's something off.
Exactly. So that's the first thing. The second thing, manze kuna community amazing tu ya triathlon Kenya, wasi wana encourage each other. Mi sahi tu nikienda kwa club yangu, hata kasi siki kufanya tizi, like there are guys there who'll tell, twende, and it will be like friendly banter. Look at you, become an old man. And that motivation just puts you there. So there's also something about a team.
Yes.
And I think even beyond sport in life, if you have a team around you and you have shared goals and shared values, you'll get there. So ni hiyo kitu tu, tafuta tu hiyo rhythm, tafuta tu hiyo routine. Get a team who you'll work with.
Yeah.
Na by the way itakuwa sawa, and those pieces will come together.
Yeah. And one of the things that God has definitely blessed us with.
Yeah.
Let me say like now, inai kwa sababu mi niko nai. But I'm sure that this happens in other parts. Yeah, tuko Kanairo, but this happens in other parts of of Nairobi, of Kenya.
Yeah.
Because we have amazing parks.
Yes.
you know, a natural space that we can go run. You know, kama ni either kwenye Karura, ama Arboretum, you know, ama Ololua, you know, ama Ngong Forest. And these are beautiful space. Limuru tu hapo ukimbia kwa majani.
Tigoni huko.
Tigoni, yeah. Beautiful spaces that guys can be able to take advantage of and go run. Yeah.
And wacha nikwambie manze, hizo places umesema ni zile tunajua. Ukienda place kama Gikambura, huku and it's just 45 minutes from Nairobi.
Yeah.
Manze, there's beautiful trails, bro.
What?
Ukienda huko Moa Hills.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there's amazing trails. Tunaendanga kuride bicycle huko. Ukienda tu hii barabara ya Isinya Kajiado Mashuru. Open virgin land and the plains, the Kenyan plains. Like, uko tu fiti. Uko tu lost in nature. Uka unakimbia ama una ride bicycle yako. It's amazing. And you're right, bro. Kenya is such a beautiful country.
It is.
I love check it weather yetu.
Weather yetu, no, it favors us.
Yeah. It favors. And the thing is, because ka unataka performance, altitude kusaidia.
Yeah.
Again, ukiwa Nairobi, enda tu hapa Ngong, 20 minutes, uko altitude.
Yeah.
Enda Tigoni, 30 minutes drive, uko altitude.
Yeah.
Ka unataka milima, enda Mua. Kama unataka plains flat, enda Kajiado.
Yeah.
So the conditions favor.
Oh, yeah. We have different conditions that actually work in terms of different acclimatization. Yeah?
Exactly.
Msiakita Kanjeve, there's one time tulienda kucheza ball Kijabe.
Hey!
Bro, ilikuwa mlima.
Okay,
You don't notice.
Yes.
I mean, Nai is high in altitude.
It is, yeah.
But Kijabe is higher.
It's higher, yes.
We want to play football.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Wow. The breathing was...
Yeah. You could feel unahema haraka.
Exactly.
Unachoka haraka.
Exactly.
You know, kwa sababu unahitaji the altitude is much higher.
Exactly.
You know, so unalemewa kiasi kucheza ball.
Unaona? So unaona saa awase wenye wamegrow up kwa hiyo area.
Yeah.
They are naturally gifted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because those kids walk to school every day in that condition. Wakicheza ball, wanacheza kwa hiyo condition.
Oh, bro.
Tufmpara ro ni hiyo condition.
Yeah.
Si unaona?
Yeah.
So.
And I know you're preparing for this. You're preparing for this crazy. I don't even know. Me, I was looking at this thing, nikakupatia props.
First of all, asante uli research.
Yeah. So I was reading about it. I was like, this is insane. This triathlon that you want to go for, it's probably the world's toughest.
Yeah. It is the most extreme triathlon in the world. It also is the most prestigious triathlon. It's a Grammys of triathlon.
That's what they say.
Yeah, it's a Grammys of triathlon. And I'm very grateful. I'm full of gratitude that I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
No one from Sub-Saharan Africa has done that.
You're the first person.
Nyeudi wa kwanza kuingia huko.
Go represent, bro. Hey.
Yeah.
Kwanza utakuwa phenomena.
Nakwambia manze.
Sasa kuja kugusa wanasema.
Nakwambia. But to me, first of all, just before ni describe hii kitu, why I feel like niko na so much gratitude about this race.
Yeah.
Someone was telling me, I don't know whether it was an elite marathoner of one of my friends, was telling me, Nanjero, unajua wewe, hujui, you don't know the significance of hii kitu unaenda kufanya. Hii kitu unaenda kufanya ni kama ile Ineos 159. Because, one, unafanya kitu yenye watu kama wewe hawajawahi fanya.
Yeah.
Meaning, you're opening up to people like you to show them that it's possible.
Yeah.
And showing people it's possible is so incredible because it then puts them in a position to go and challenge better than you.
Yeah.
So you're setting the foundation, and after you set the foundation, kutakuwa Mkenya, Mtanzania, Muganda, ama Mrwanda, ataenda na challenge kushinda hiyo race.
Yes.
And that's so beautiful because you started a fire.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it that way. And that has given me so much drive to... Saina chapa tizi, bro. Tizi na chapa. Na nitakwambia
we'll get into it.
So this race is... the Norseman is in Norway.
It only happens, this Grammy of triathlons. Yeah. It always happens it's in Norway.
It's in Norway.
Yes.
It's once a year. It's in Norway. It happens in the first weekend of August, always. Wamejipanga.
Yeah. The weather is more favorable at that time.
It's more favorable, but also it's unpredictable.
Yes.
And the race organizers love that. So some years it's going to be cold.
Yes.
Some years it's going to be raining. Some years it's going to be sunny, like heat wave. So you have to prepare for all of that.
Yeah.
And it starts off with a 3.8 kilometer swim. So you're in a ferry. The ferry goes 3.8 kilometers into the river. Then you jump off the ferry at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Into 9-degree water, very cold.
Oh my gosh.
Swim.
Kwanza your body inagongo na shock ya maji baridi.
Bus.
Yeah.
Bus. But now to acclimatize, uzuri ya hiyo ferry, iko na cold showers. So what you do is you take that shower before you jump.
Yeah.
Ndio mwili yako, you can get hypothermia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Easily.
get into shock. Yeah. Yeah. So when you do that, you get into a 180-kilometer cycle, and that 180-kilometer cycle.
So you do the 3.8 kilometer swim.
Yes.
Whatever stroke you want.
Whatever stroke. Okay.
Okay, just cannot.
Ukitaka zile vitu zetu tukiwa watoi fanya, but utaka hapo 3 hours.
Yeah.
And there's a cut of time, so you have to be very efficient. So like right now, what I'm training for is efficiency.
Yeah.
Nasa, you know now that 3.8 kilometers.
That's good efficiency.
Exactly. And guys ask me, Nanjero, so you're training for 3.8 kilometers? No, I'm not training for 3.8 kilometers. I'm training for 8 kilometers. Because you want to get out of the water and be ready for what's ahead.
Yeah.
So lazima mwili yako izoe more. Ndio ukitoka kwa maji, you're not tired.
Yes.
So after that, it's a 180-kilometer cycle. 180-kilometer cycling, let me give you context. It's like Nairobi to Nakuru.
Yes.
And now this is Nairobi to Nakuru with 2,000 meters elevation gain. What that means, what that means, bro, is unapanda milima.
180 kilometers.
Yeah, 180 kilometers.
With a 2,000 meter
elevation
gain.
Yeah. So
way.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you're just going up the hill, dropping.
Yeah.
And guys say, oh, you'll enjoy the drops. Dropping is a skill also. Eh? Kwenda chini na mlima is, yeah, it's crazy. So then once you do that, it's then you transition into a full marathon. 42.2. Wow. Na hiyo 42.2 ni mixed. The first 25K ni road. And then after that ni trail kwa mlima sasa.
Yeah. And I saw that the as you go to finish, it's the most, it's the steepest part.
Yes, it's
ya kukumaliza basically.
Ya kukumaliza. Yo, Mount Gestopen.
I'm feeling it already.
3,500 meters. So it's like umekimbia juu mpaka Longonot juu.
Yeah.
So that way, yeah. Then you're done.
Bro.
The other thing about this race ni muhimu nikwambie. Other races, you have support on course.
Yeah.
Like the race organizers, Castanchat Marathon.
Yes.
After every 3K, there's a tent, there's water.
Yeah.
This is a self-supported race.
Oh, wow.
So I have to have my team who are going to help me.
So they've not planned that for you?
No.
You sort yourself out?
You sort yourself out. Kama nataka come solo, but huwezi come solo. Utamalizika.
Yeah.
I'm very privileged. This is an honor as well to me. I have an all Kenyan team. So this is fantastic.
That's amazing.
Isn't it?
So you have an all Kenyan team that's supporting you?
Yes.
So you're going to go with these guys from here to Norway to be your support team?
Yes.
That's amazing, man.
So that's a Norseman. That's my ambition for next year.
So, and one of the things that you've said that's quite significant is that what you're about to do by going for the Norseman is you're trailblazing something.
Exactly.
You know, for not just for Kenyans, but for Africans.
Yes.
You know, and even for the black people to know that actually we can go ahead and take on some of these challenges that people are doing.
Absolutely. That's my
Bro, I have to give you mad props for this.
Thank you so much.
I have to give you mad props for this because you could have sat out and said, you know, this is not for us.
Exactly.
It's not for, I've not been acclimatized to that. You don't live in Norway, you know. I don't think people understand how cold that water is.
Yeah, it's really cold.
You know, you could have easily sat out and said it's not for us.
Yeah.
It's not meant for people of our color.
Yeah.
And it reminded me, do you remember there was a Kenyan who he was a marathoner?
Yes.
And after he transitioned from the marathon, he went to do skiing.
Oh, yes.
Bitok.
Yes, Bitok. Oh, my goodness. I remember that guy. He went to the Winter Olympics.
Yes, he went to Seoul.
Yeah.
In Korea. And he went for other Winter Olympics.
Yes.
You know, and he was doing something that's out of the norm. I mean, first, you know, in Kenya, the only place you can experience snow is when you are Mount Kenya.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
But he was trying to do something that's out of the ordinary for, you know, for people in sub-Saharan Africa.
Exactly.
For us to be able to experience. Unfortunately, you know, not many people have picked up after that.
Yeah.
But I think that what you're doing is closer to our grasp for many people than the whole skiing experience.
Exactly.
And I do hope that many guys will pick up, including myself. Mi nitachapa lazima chape triathlon.
Bro, asanti.
I'm not sure about the 42-kilometer run.
Utaanza too small.
Hizi ndogo ndogo naweza chapa, 10, 20.
Yeah.
But then as you aim towards this, and you say that there is a community for, do you call them triathletes?
Triathletes, yeah.
So if guys want to come and join, do you do like races?
Yeah.
Are there places where people can be able to follow you? Because I feel that this is, it's not new, but it almost sounds like it's very new in the Kenyan culture.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for that, Manze. And big shout out to Bitok. I think he's a very important personality in Kenya, and I feel like we don't celebrate him enough.
Yeah.
And you're right, he's inspired other guys. Akina Sabrina now are skiing at the topest level. Yeah. Simanda, she's an amazing young girl.
See, I didn't even know about her.
There are 2 young Kenyans who are going to the Winter Youth Olympics in the skiing category.
That's amazing.
So he started a revolution.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. I always say it's important that we celebrate these guys.
Yes.
Because they've set a foundation for others. The triathlon community. One, I always say, you're right. Information is not out there. And I'm trying as much as possible. Information itoke huko nje. My DMs are always open as Nanjero. Like, go to my Instagram, ask me all those questions, I'll answer them. But beyond that, there are a number of clubs in Kenya. The first one is Karen here. Karen has a club, Karen Triathlon Club. And Karen Triathlon Club is on Instagram. There's another one in Lavington, if you're in the Lavington area, Team TriFit. I belong to a club called Mile Aid.
Mile Aid,
yeah. In Mombasa, there's Buffalo Triathlon Club, if you're in those sides of coast. In LD, there's Eldoret Triathlon.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. But most importantly, I think what guys should look out for is, one, look at individual triathletes and reach out to them.
Yeah.
I feel like triathletes are always willing to give in Kenya. They're always willing to give you information. There's a federation in Kenya. The federation will tell you about the calendar.
Yeah.
We have a calendar of events. It's not as vibrant as it should be, but it does exist. For me, in partnership with Wadi Degla, we're organizing an event, a triathlon event. Entry level, not the entry level. And for me, it's informational.
Yeah.
And it's to answer all of these questions. And it's to lead people to the right direction.
Yeah.
And beyond just the sport, or like you asked, how do we swim in a dam? Where do you swim in a pool? Where do you go for physio? What do you eat? And the whole community and the ecosystem of triathlon, we're going to be answering those questions.
Yeah.
But just to reiterate, bro, to anyone who's listening, if you ever have a question on triathlon, please feel free to reach out to Nanjero.
Yeah.
We'll answer all the questions.
What's your handle? No, because the guys who are watching, they'll be able to see the handle. Yeah. But for the guys who are listening.
At Nanjero. Simple.
Period.
Yeah.
So, at Nanjero.
At Nanjero.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. And I know you're the chairman as well.
No, I'm not.
You're not captain. You're the captain. I mean, okay.
Yeah. Utafanya chairman nifute kazi. Yeah.
I mean, I'm really happy to be able to support you guys in whichever way. And because I do think, the thing about triathlon is it's not easy.
No.
I know you say that, you're able to break the monotony, siku kimbia peke, but again, there's a health and the fitness level, it drives you towards you can never get that from money.
No, you can't.
And some of these things, you don't even need to pay to go and experience some of this, to go and get your body as healthy as that.
Yeah.
And so as you get ready for the triathlon that's coming up, for the Grammy of triathlons that's coming up.
I hope wamekusikia for the Grammy.
For the Grammy of the triathlons, man. This is big, Bana.
Yeah.
How are you getting supported to do this?
Okay, awesome.
Do you have, do you have guys who are coming? Do you have corporates who are Kenyan coming? Because I do hope that this is a Kenyan affair and that we would rally behind you, bro.
Yeah. First of all, the first level of support is from you, DJ. Mi nashukuru umenieka kwa hii podcast. Na the first thing tumeongea ni triathlon.
Yeah.
You could have chosen to talk about another sexier topic. Tungeingia tu topics zenye wase wanapenda.
Yeah.
Because as you know, like I'm multi facet.
Yes, we're going to get into them.
Yeah.
But this is big.
Yeah, but you started with this. Na nakushukuru tu, bro. And I'm grateful that you've seen what I'm doing is important.
Yeah. I followed you and just seen what you're doing. I'm blown away.
I hope you're going to send your kids to that direction.
I will. I mean, my kids, you know, they love, 2 of them are very athletic. They love it. So, minto warusha kwa side, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of support that I'm getting. I had to, so one thing, and this is another area that elite athletes in Kenya struggle with, is beyond your capability and beyond your talent. How do you leverage the power of your brand? How do you build a community around you that you can leverage off of? Because you know, as you know, Moz, your career has a limited time period. And if you do not build a lasting legacy for yourself, utajipata kwa mashida even financially.
Yeah.
And that's another area that also I'm trying to address, because kuna Wakenya elite level who are peak or now peak and they earn a lot of money. But when they retire, manze, wanaingia tu, yani it becomes despair. Yeah. So I've been very deliberate in building a campaign to try and bring on board partners who will see the value, and I've built a value proposition around what I'm doing, and trying to help them see the value they can gain for themselves by supporting this cause. So the first thing that I have is I have an apparel partner. My apparel partner is a company called 5 Star Africa, and this is a fully Kenyan-owned company.
That's dope.
It's so amazing, bro, because hii company first
5 Star Apparel.
5 Stars
Africa.
Yeah.
Si wanidunga niache kuvaa hizi vitu hapa hivi.
Manze. Hata sahi nasikia tu dizzy nikiona. Tutakudunga. But let me tell you what's so amazing about hii company, the founder Ali. Hii company, first of all, they kitted the Kenya cycling team to the Olympics.
Wow.
They kitted the Kenya cycling team to the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
To the Youth Commonwealth Games and to the Youth Olympics. Hii company, bro, apparel yao iko level ya Nike, iko level ya Adidas.
Wow.
It's at that level. It's been sanctioned by the highest bodies. And to me, that's such an amazing story.
It
because ni kampuni iko hapa.
Na ni yetu.
Ni yetu.
But bro, mi hata sijui.
Imagine.
Wow.
And this for me,
sasa,
it's important that at a platform yangu, ipe company kama hizi, the spaces.
Yeah.
And the other day we were talking with Ali and I was like, Ali, do you know, like, because the Norseman story is such a powerful story.
Yeah.
I could have chosen to go to Nike, to 2XU, to all of this. But it was never in my mind.
Yeah.
The first place I wanted to go to was to you.
That's dope, man. Because Nike ungesema, their slogan is just do it.
Exactly.
It works.
It works,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
It works. And like the level of support would have been crazy.
Yeah.
But to me, what I'm doing is a story of a pioneering African brand. And I want to work with pioneering African brands.
That's dope.
And Ali believed in everything that I said. Manze nilimpichia 20 minutes na tukasign deal hapo. Haikuwa tu back and forth. So that's that. We're coming up. We have the design already.
Yeah.
We're going to have a specific Norseman brand of apparel. Streetwear and competition wear and training wear. Manze, guys, please support us in that journey.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing because it gives longevity to that brand.
Yes.
And I want to see it moving. Other than that, we are speaking to other corporates as well. We're speaking to corporates in the energy drink space. So let me tell you where my thinking is. I personally only want to work with corporates where I naturally fit in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not conflicting. Yes. You're complementing each other. You don't even need to struggle to push them. You're like, this works for me. This is
exactly. And why that is important is, one, because the value for the corporates is natural to them.
Yeah.
Because it's fused into my world and they can speak to their consumers through me.
Yeah.
But secondly, and most importantly, is we can start building a community and we can start building both values on both sides, for the consumer and for the corporate. Manze, wacha tu nikwambie, hiki tu ni interesting because wase uniuliza maswali mingi. Manze, nikitaka kuchapa recovery drink, nitumie gani? So you see, already it happens. It's just not been put in a formal structure. Yeah. So things in that world, apparel, energy drinks, recovery drinks, water, even banking. So that's where my mind is. To be honest with you, it's a lot of conversations. It's not as easy as how it was with Ali.
Yeah.
Because she was the decision maker. But slowly, we're getting interest.
Yeah.
And I hope manze Kenyan corporates, please support Wasani, support guys like us.
Yeah.
Because we are the guys who are the front to your consumers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know one of the challenges that we also face is people will say like, triathlon is not a mass market thing.
Yeah.
But if you think about a healthy nation,
Yes.
For me, if I was running a corporate, I'd be like, this should be a no-brainer.
Exactly.
Because what you're doing actually goes beyond you.
Yes.
You're trailblazing. For me, like, that's something I want to jump on.
Yeah.
See if there's any way that Kubamba can be a part of this journey.
Oh, thanks, man.
Bro, we would definitely be happy to be able to support you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And, the reason I was also asking is because we have many guys who are watching or listening to the podcast and they'll be like, how can we support Nanjero?
Yeah.
So if whenever you're ready and set up whatever that support base is going to look like, please let us know so we can tell guys to jump on board.
Yeah.
First, you're not just going alone, but you're going with a Kenyan team behind you to be able to support you through this whole journey.
Yeah.
But then also, even if it's buying the merchandise, it's still another way of supporting our own local brand. And I've seen, if they're the guys who kit you, like when you're going on your bikes, the Kenyan in need, how do you kutengenezea?
That's 5 Stars Africa. Are you seeing how dope that thing is?
It's so dope.
Yeah.
It's so dope, Bana.
Yeah. So, but the two immediate things, by the way, that Kenyans out there can support us with is that the match line, but secondly, the event that we're going to put out.
Yeah.
And why...
The one with Wadi Degla now.
Yeah. And why that event is important is because we want to get guys moving.
Yes.
So manze, guys, please come. We're even thinking of having like a corporate type thing where it's 100-meter sprint.
Yeah.
Tuwekewa mabazu wakimbie hapo. 100 meters manze.
Watu wane mbio.
Watu wane mbio. And let's just, beyond thinking about, it's Nanjero's story. Let's all have this story.
Yeah.
And we put it at your level.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I do believe that what it is that you're doing is going to inspire many, many people, man. Yeah. Absolutely. So, as guys, we have your back.
Thank you.
It's very inspiring. Now, the guys who could be listening to this and they're thinking, man, Nanjero seems to be out there, doing this, crazy things. Him is at his prime. Anaweza afford kuchukua time yake maze ende kufanya vitu zingine huko hivyo nje. The other things that you also do because you work as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The one that pays the bills.
There's the one that pays the bills, man.
Yeah.
And one of the things that God has given you the opportunity to do is to lead Soul Generation, man.
Yeah.
How did you even end up there?
Yeah. Wow.
Because I was just looking up about some of the things that you've done. You've done incredible things, including working with Safaricom.
Yes.
At the inception of M-Pesa, maybe you tell us a bit about Soul Generation. We'll go backwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Manze, first of all, Soul Generation, it's such an honor, bro. It's such an honor. This year, dominate 2 charts. Last year, dominate charts. The year before that, dominate charts.
Yeah.
And I remember when COVID hit, man, we were sitting and we were so scared.
Of course.
We were so worried, manze, because wasanii, when msanii pia.
Yeah.
Wasanii barabara yetu ilikuwa moja.
Events.
Yeah. It's customer facing.
Yeah.
Now like there's no other way.
Yeah.
But can I tell you an interesting story of how sometimes when a negative situation comes, how you can leverage and become stronger? At that point, Sauti had just released Midnight Train. Sauti So. Big shout out to Sauti So, our directors. And the ambition was to launch this album in a stadium. 40,000 people.
Yeah.
That had never happened here for Sauti. And because that could not happen, we had to think quickly, man, what should we do? And Akisa led this project. Big shout out to Akisa. And we put up an online show.
I remember.
Remember the online launch?
Bro, we were all there.
Bro, that thing had 130,000 unique IP addresses.
That's amazing, man. You went beyond the 40K.
That's what I'm saying.
That you're going to have.
Yeah, sometimes a curveball is thrown at you, but actually it makes you think outside and gives you growth.
Wow.
And 130,000 unique IP addresses doesn't mean it's 130,000 people. Because tukiwatch ball, tunakwanga wase watano tunaangalia TV. And to me, like, it made us like really think about outside the box.
Yeah.
It made us innovate in ways that we never have thought. Now we are doing lives. The other day I was telling you about Press Play. We did a Press Play launch for that album. But yeah, to go back to the story, Soul Generation, I joined Soul Gen at the point where the company had been set up, the foundation and the vision had been put in. Sauti, Soul, our directors, they were very clear about what they wanted with Soul Gen. It took them 15 plus years to get to the level that they wanted. And their ambition was, how can we create an ecosystem and an environment where all these young, incredible, talented Kenyans do not have to go and hawk outside Orleans to go the journey that they had, the difficult journey, but they can plug into an ecosystem and can develop their talent. Same as like if you are a doctor, unaweza enda medical school, 7 years utoke uingie industry, architects, accountants, pilots. But even for you, when ni msanii, your story is difficult, bro.
Oh, bro.
Umechukua path ndefu. But you know what? And I'm going to challenge you. The guys after you should not take your path.
No. I can tell you for sure they're not.
You
see,
Yako ilikuwa noma.
Your forest tumeikatakata hizo miti, to create at least like a smoother journey for them.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful.
Yeah, and I'm sure Polycarp told you that. And so the idea was, how do you create an ecosystem that then gives a shortcut for wasanis? And on the creative side, Sauti are really good at it.
Yeah.
They had built that. And at the point where I joined, we really needed to create a professional environment, an operational model that supports the creative.
Yeah.
Like to professionalize the business. And where I came in was to build that structure. How do you professionalize and operationalize a creative company and take it corporate and then create this ecosystem where in and out. Yeah. So that's my Soul Gen story.
And you guys have done amazing because, as a Soul Generation, you've been able to pick up some amazing artists, apart from Sauti Soul themselves, who are part of Soul Gen.
Yeah.
I mean, you've also been able to bring on guys into the spotlight, like Akina Nviri and Suda, Ben Soul, And, all these guys are people who have, like you're saying, they have created that chart, chart-topping songs, and they have dominated the music industry in Kenya as it is. And I know that this is probably not an easy journey. But for you, what would have led you to get into that space for being where you are today?
Okay.
Yeah.
From at the Soul Gen element.
As Soul Gen, and
tunaenda
kat narudi nyuma.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got you. Yeah. So it's interesting. By the way, if you told me 10 years ago I'd be in the creative industry, ningekuchekelea. Yeah.
Hauko najiona hapo.
Because me, I was hardcore corporate, as you rightfully said. I was in Safaricom. After my master's, I came back to Kenya. I was in my master's in UK. I came back to Kenya, and luckily enough, I joined Safaricom. And at those days when I was in Safaricom, M-Pesa was just rolling out. And I remember when we were trying to set up M-Pesa and rolling it out across the country, manzi wase walikuwa natusikiza nikaa tumechizi. Ati unaniambia ni kupe pesa ingie kwa simu? Nikupe pesa yangu wewe na iko kwa simu, ati alafu nitumie mzee mwingine huko nje? Hakuna. Wewe ni mchawi. And it was, educating guys about like digital money was such a hard thing.
And not just in Kenya. This was, what you guys were doing was something that was going to impact the world globally.
Exactly.
But was very new.
Exactly. And bro, you're right, globally, because Kenya is a pioneering nation in that space. And it was so hard. It was grinding, especially in shags. And even like when we got a certain level of success, there were other guys who were working overtime, fraudsters. We always used to sit in the office and say, si tuko na KPI yetu ya growth. Waizi wako na KPI yao pia ya kukonwa se. Manze. It was crazy because guys were stealing.
What?
And let me tell you my biggest learning with fraud. It's always the guys closest to you. Mse anaomba simu ya grandmother yake, anaenda anatoa do yake. Bro.
Kikulacho kinguni mwako.
Bas. Committee boys, si upiga simu.
Wako active hadi leo.
Baka leo. And you see, every time they're getting new tactics. They're getting new tactics. So I was privileged enough to be in that world. And because of that, being in that pioneering space, it opened up opportunities for me. I moved to Cape Town. I worked in Zambia. I worked in Mozambique, setting up similar
Wow.
Because-
Mobile money still.
Yes, because as you said, it was new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this same skill that I had here, I transferred it into other places.
Yeah.
I also, when I came back, I joined the IFC World Bank to do the same thing. I'm currently still doing that as well. And it was interesting for me because I was always a techie as a young boy. Mi nilikuwa napenda kucheza games, man. So it's corporate, but it's digital corporate, which I really like and enjoy. And how I got into the space of creative is because Sauti Sol, Akina Bien, beyond corporate, we've always been friends. And we always were sitting together, especially with BN, and he was always complaining like about certain things. Oh, manze, busy yetu iko hivi. And he was always complaining about the operational elements, the corporate and operational elements. And I'll always give him ideas of how he can do that. And naturally, one day he said, okay, sawa, weka mu tusaidie tu tufanye hivi kidogo. And then 1 month became, we're here now.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
when Soul Generation was being set up,
yeah.
Ulikuwa, were you amongst the...
No.
No.
In the first few months, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't there. Moriasi was
yes.
there. Moriasi unamjua, amazing guy. Those days, actually, when Soul Gen was set up, I think I used to live in Zambia, actually. Yeah, I used to live in Zambia. So at the point where I came in is at the point where they had set up.
Yeah.
They had the vision. They had the structure. They had started rolling out.
Yeah.
But they had these operational challenges.
Yeah. What do you think is ailing like now the industry, the music industry in Kenya?
Perfect, man.
Yeah.
The music industry in Kenya. So I'll paint for you the picture. Kenya has so much talent. And I'll back this up with evidence.
Yeah.
Unakumbuka zile siku za music festival?
Yeah. Bado iko hadi saizi.
Unajua inafanyika mpaka sahi. Manze bro, just for the listeners out there, take some time and go and watch music festival. Guys are singing, guys are acting. Guys are doing some amazing stuff. Kuna talanta.
Yeah.
Lakini bro, wase wakimaliza form 4, muziki inaisha.
Yeah.
Dance inaisha. Film inaisha, acting inaisha. What's the issue? The issue is there is no development ecosystem in Kenya.
There's no infrastructure.
There's no infrastructure, bro. Kama wewe manze. Wewe, I think hata tukianza story yako hapa tutamaliza. But it had to take an exerted effort for you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you sacrificed a lot for you to stay there. But most Kenyans do not have the privilege to do that.
Yes.
Lazima watafute ya kukula. There's a lot of pressure for them to get into formal society.
Yeah.
And even if you want to go and record, for example, sahi, mimi kijana, niko Makueni. Hata nikitaka kwenda kurekod
nitaenda wapi?
Niko Kandara. Nikitaka kurekod nitaenda wapi? Niko Kitui, nikitaka Kisii, Luanda, Kakamega. Now let me paint for you the scenario of successful markets like TZ, by the way, and SA. SA, the music industry there is so decentralized that place ka Marish, kuna studio yenye iko government owned.
Oh, wow.
And that government owned studio is being run like the same way Soldier is being run.
Wow.
And infrastructure, and I always say this, you cannot expect the private sector to build a road. The policymakers will build the road, and then we'll buy the cars. You'll buy and do someone will buy a bus, you'll buy a private car. So at policy level, what is lacking in this country is the infrastructure, the big capital investment to support the creative industry does not exist.
Yeah.
And everyone is trying to fill the gap. Solgen will never, ever be able to fill the talent gap in this.
You can't.
Kubamba will never, no matter what you do, never. The small corporate money that's coming in will never be able to do it. And unfortunately, that's the issue. And to me, I always say, we complain a lot about corporates, and it's the truth.
Yeah.
But I really, really am grateful to the corporates who support us. Big shout out to all the corporates who partnered with us. However, corporates will only invest into an ecosystem that's working.
Yeah.
And I always give the industry, I give examples of mature industries like tea. The tea sector, the sporting industry, though uko kuna mashida. But if the ecosystem of the creative arts industry
is established
and it's mature and it's running, corporates will pour in so much money.
Yeah.
So let's fix that element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do believe that, you know, like you're saying, talent iko mob.
Ni mingi.
Talent is a lot. And when I consider, when I consider like, because, you know, God has allowed me to be in the gospel music industry now for a while now. And it's been incredible the people have had the opportunity to meet.
Imagine, man.
And encounter in this space. And the incredible thing is, some guys whose songs were released, like even as I was starting off, like, you know, 20 years ago, for some reason, you know, their music is still being listened to today, but the guys have since transitioned off. Because they felt, there's nothing here for me.
Exactly.
You know, and we've seen many of these guys, both in the gospel and in the secular space. You know, people who feel, this is the passion and this is the thing that I want to run with. Lakini, hakuna future. So the Sauti Souls are few. You know, the Daddy Owens are few. You know, the Guardian Angels, because they're like, you have such the infrastructure to support up even Nishida. But I do think at the same time that Kenyans love our music.
Sana.
They love our arts. I mean, like now, if you consider like what Akina Abel Mutua are doing.
Imagine.
The other day, he dropped a movie.
Amazing guy.
He did his gig. Remember the gig that he did?
Yes.
You know, it was packed.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know, he was streaming it online. Alafu wasa wakauliza zi, turudishie mazee, sisi tulihata. Turudishie. So there is a hunger. And I don't know what we can do, like, you know, for us, because if we wait for the government to do things.
No, it won't,
They have made wakona mashida zao. We do need to do something, especially as God has allowed us to be in this space of the creative industry where we can do like what Wangari Maathai said. You know, I'm the Kahaming, but I'll do the little that I can. You know, I'll pick up a seed from here and I'll go plant it there. You know, I'm doing my little part. And hope, you know, that this little thing that I'm doing is going to create that forest. So that the little ones, you know, the younger ones, you know, like Akina Kate and, you know, and other people who are coming now after us. Watakuta somehow tumewestablishia kitu. These things, they might not work necessarily in our generation. But we can see it in the next generation. To be able to thrive for them. Now for you, man, what's...
By the way, sorry, that's powerful. Thank you for that. That's powerful.
Thank God.
I think the lesson there is, let's collaborate. Wase wote tuko industry manze. Hiyo keki ni kubwa.
Sana.
Let's collaborate. We create an environment for everyone.
Sana.
Asante, go ahead.
Uwezi chukua mazi ujieke. Hauwezi maliza. Na hii job ni bigi. It's a lot of
and
work.
As you said, customers wanatutaka, wako na hunger.
There is.
Theater is thriving. Bro, unajua theater na thrive Kenya? Me, actually, I was challenging wasani wengi, and I'm just going to challenge them here now. There's no one doing musicals in Kenya, manze.
And guys that started doing musicals.
Exactly. But the desire and the hunger, bro, na unajua wase wa musical, tikiti watalipa 5K.
Ni ukweli. Mimi nimezienda.
Umesindio? Na umelipa hiyo top dollar.
Bro, nimeenda kucheki, the last one I went for was Luanda Magere.
Oh man. Ilikuwaje?
It was done by a guy called JJ. Big shout out to JJ, man. Yani, it was so good. Alafu Luanda Magere is our story.
Ni yetu.
You know, no one else can do Luanda Magere. Wasiwastetu wako na Hamilton.
Exactly.
Sisi tuko na Luanda Magere.
Luanda Magere.
You know, and this is our story. You know, and that event was done over a weekend. Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they did for 2 weeks, I believe. Packed every night. And the ticket was 2.5.
Look at that. Those days.
And inaisha, you like, okay, now what's the next? Lazima mtupatie more.
Give me more.
And it was a musical. So they're acting, they're telling the story. Then the music that they're singing was ours. Back at some point, they broke into Unbogable.
What?
It makes sense.
They put pop in it.
Yes, but that song Unbogable na Luanda Magere, zinaambatana.
Imagine.
You know, I was like, man, guys wanted more. There's a hunger for more, lakini.
Anyway. So, tumechallenge wase hapa kwa hii podcast. Hiyo space iko open.
Iko open sana.
Na wase wanataka kuwatch.
Nilinda, we went to do an event. We're doing a tour called Love Kenya. And nice. It was one of the most incredible things we've done this year. And so basically we went for a tour. Of course, Jobetu knew evangelism. But we do, music is our language. So as we're going to these different neighborhoods, Nanyuki, Muranga, Machakos, Embu, Karatina.
Nice.
It was amazing getting to these spaces. But when I was in Karatina, we met some young guys. And they were like, man, sisi wase wa Karatina, man. Tuko hapa hivi wase wa young, tuko na talent, and hatuna studio.
Oh, manze.
Yani, hapo ndio wamekwama.
Na
talanta iko. So as you're saying, that the work is a lot. In all these places kuna talent. I just want to farm up what you're saying. The minute may encounter your conversation. And not just there. And there was also another young girl who also approached me akasema, man, what do I do with my talent?
Wow. Hiyo swali I'm sure ulifreeze kidogo.
Of course. Utamwambia nini sasa? Kuja Nairobi.
Unamleta tu mashida zingine.
Akuja Nairobi apate, adili na rent na vitu kama hizo. But wakiwa Karatina, that's their home. And the gig that we did in Karatina was packed.
Wow.
It was packed. We were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
What?
It just kept growing and growing in numbers.
Young guys having a good time.
In fact, Karatina, we finished the gig at 9:00. Lakini wase watai kuenda. And the stadium was still full.
What?
And there's a hunger, like you're saying. There's a hunger. And people are like, man, we want more. Imagine if that gig was Karatina people performing for their own.
It would be so amazing.
Inaweza shona kwa sababu it's their talent, man. It's their own people. And hopefully kuna wase wanasikiza hapa hivi saa hizi. And I do hope that these conversations are, are inspiring you to be able to rise up.
It's true.
And I know challenges iko kila mahali, bro. Me, God akaendelea kunisuka do, sijui utafanya nini, but I feel it's like, for me, I feel it's like a burden that I have. And even in the gospel music industry.
Sure.
I feel it's like a burden that I have, and I'm like, we need to do something. We need to keep raising up more. There need to be more DJs, and more artists, so that we can continue, growing and reaching out to more and more. Because mahali mimi nimefika, there's a conversation I can't have with teenagers.
You can't, bro.
Si dunia bro. Language imechange. Vitu watu wanafanya ni tofauti. For me now I'm like a parent to them.
Exactly.
You get? Actually, my daughter is turning 13.
Look at that. Yeah. Joyo. Like that's reality now.
Na mimi tukiongea mazee, it's like we're in two different wavelengths. In fact, I have to come down to understand where they are. And so even with what you guys are doing with Soldier, and it's like we need to raise up new guys because, bro, we can't speak to the youngins.
No, we can't. And these guys, music, sports, music and sports, and the whole creative economy has the biggest impact on young people, bro.
Yes. Worldwide.
Yeah. If you want to sell messages, it's through music, it's through dance, it's through film. And you're right. Na wasanii hata hapa kwa hii podcast na challenge wasanii wa gospel. They have such a massive role to play.
Please talk to them kwa sababu means like nimejaribu kuimba hii message.
Hii wimbo
Hebu waambie tafadhali.
Una grind Now I'll just tell you a story, bro. The first Safaricom live we did when I was in Safcom. Sauti was there. Cap Mulla was there. Do you know which other band was there? Emoji, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Emoji. Do you know to date, Emoji have touched me in a way where I'll never forget. Emoji, first of all, walikuwa na chapa usanii, ile ya Meru ndio iliniua. Meru ilikuwa Kinoru.
Kinoru Stadium.
Packed. And please note, these are the artists, are secular artists.
And they're big. Yeah.
Emoji waliingia stage. Emoji walichapa show.
What?
And do you know like what really touched me about their delivery? Emoji wanachapa wimbo. After hiyo wimbo, they take like 1 minute kuchapa ministry. Their song, manze, hii wimbo God atakufanyia hivi nini. I was going through this season in my life and this what and you can see the reaction of guys, bro. Na saa hiyo ni 10 p.m., 11 p.m. And it's the power to me. Those days, I never used to understand it. It's the power that I saw in Emoji, in how they were touching young Meru guys. It was incredible.
Na wasi mashinani unaimba nao.
Wanaimba nao. Pick my call. I'll never forget the song with Julian. So when I see that, and especially because they were bundled with secular guys and maybe secular guys at midnight in Meru, it's easier for them.
Yeah.
But emoji walishikilia hiyo stage na wakaperform.
Yeah.
But sasa nyinyi wasi wengine wa gospel, I can count them in my hands when you are na hiyo impact. I want there to be like 10,000 emojis in Kenya because they play such an important role for us. Yeah, so wasi wa gospel, please, you guys never underestimate the power you have. You have such an important role to touch society, especially because young guys are facing challenges.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of negative information influencing us. So please nyuwase, my youth wanakuangalia, wanasikiza mziki zenu. Sell that message and uplift young Kenyans and young Africans.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it any better, bro.
Emoji wako wapi, Justin? Hawa si walienda wapi?
Wako.
Rudini, bro. Rudini. Nimekupea assignment. Rudisha hawa si.
So I did a gig last year. And he's like, yes. Kate anasema,
warudi, yeah.
I did an event last year called Legends.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So it's just it was a way of bringing back guys who were there. Like Akina MOG.
Oh, yes.
Giuliani.
Oh, perfect, yeah.
Do you remember Wanono Crew?
Wanono Crew, manze.
Yeah.
Oh, say, yeah.
Jemima Thiongo.
Yes.
Esther Wahome.
Goodness.
It was such an A-star.
Oh, A-star.
There was a guy called Riga. So it was such an amazing experience that afternoon.
Yeah.
And we're like, man. And of course, wasi wengine mazumu watu wazee hawajakuwa on stage for such a long time. But it was such a good experience because, like you're saying, it was nostalgic.
Sindio,
Yeah, bana. So wakimba Pick My Call, you're like, I love Juliana minge now kwa stage. Then many of them are not seen each other for a long time.
Yeah.
So the guys are still there.
Yeah.
And I think it's, kama vile stato, they always remember their legends.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
They always remember, like Kabisa. Earth, Wind and Fire still doing gigs today.
To date. And they sell out. Like in the Beatles.
Yes. I was looking at, Spotify, the guys for Earth, Wind and Fire, they put out their raps for Spotify.
Right.
Like 300 and something million streams.
Wow. And those are not new songs.
No.
Wow.
Those are songs for Do you remember?
Yes, those ones.
Yeah. So it's those old school jams. And so we do need to honor these guys.
Yeah.
Because for many of them probably might still feel, I'm not relevant to this generation today. Yeah. But here is Kate. Kate is in her early 20s.
Thank you. Bado tuko.
Bado anasema, man, we love emoji.
Imagine.
We want to see akina Giuliani. I know things zinaweza kwa zimeshift saa hizi, but there's something that they have that's not there today.
I agree.
And if the foundation is moved, then what else do we build on?
Exactly.
You get?
Yeah.
If their foundation, because how ndio foundation yetu bana?
How ndio foundation?
Yeah.
How ndio pioneers wetu?
Yeah, bana. Yeah. So if they're not there to be able to give advice and to direct, then it becomes the next guys who come, they start building their foundation on such shaky grounds kwa sababu hawajaambiwa mazi hii ndio path ya kutumia. Hii kitu tunafanya si poa. Exactly. Nilijaribu kupitia kwa hii barabara kunipeleka mahali pa poa. You can learn from this. But anyway, more to you, bro.
Yeah.
More to you, bana. Yeah. So, your upbringing, umegrow wapi?
Mimi msewa Ocha.
Hey!
First of all, umeka hii podcast place inakaa kama Ocha, asanti.
Ni matawi.
Matawi. But so, two things. I grew up in the city, but I was those guys who nilikuanga Nairobi primary, Patch Primo. Boarding. So, nilikuanga boarding. So, but lakini holidays, nilikuwa naenda Ocha. So, ni dual.
Wow.
So, one of those things where shule ikifunga, gari, naenda Shags.
What?
Na Shags was so incredible for me because my bro is here, big shout out to him. All my cousins were there. Na tulikuwa tu tunacheza kaa watoi nje. It was so, like iyo nostalgia ya kwa Shags, kukula tu naturally, kukimbia, kucheza, kwa vienyeji, tulikuwa vienyeji bro.
Kutengeneza mabeta, unakumbuka zile zilikuwa na miguu, alafu unasukumuna wasee kama ukoje hiyo kitu.
Umeona hiyo kitu manze, hiyo alafu zile magari ziko na waya.
Yes.
Unasukuma hiyo waya siku za safo. Na mapekele yani. Hizo ndio zilikuwa form zetu manze. Bano, 3 sticks. hiyo ndio ilikuwa form
Shake.
yangu. Shake. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa form yangu. Na I think nikiangalia, the more I think about it more, those years were so impactful to me. Because your foundation, kugrow tu up na makazo zangu, kugrow up kwa hiyo environment, ilinifundisha tu mambo mingi. Because city life is difficult. Kuishi Kanairo ni noma.
Kanairo iko na shida zake.
Kanairo ni noma.
Yeah,
but the value based system of growing up in a community ilikuwa tu muhimu kwangu. Mimi sahi hata bado mimi na identify tu na mkamse wa shags. Mimi sitaki kuishi Nairobi huko Kile sijui Kilimani wapi. Mimi nataka tu kuishi huko outskirts. So that was my upbringing. I think the important element was swimming was a very important element of my life. So because nilikuwa boarding, niliingia boarding at 5 years, nilikuwa na train swimo twice a day. Asubuhi tulikuwa tuna train, 3:45 bell kiring.
Umerudi kwa pool.
And it was so interesting, bro, because I was the youngest in that swimming team. So nilikuwa na train na wasi wako 3 years, 4, 5 years ahead of me. And in a sense, ilini push sana.
Yeah, because you want to keep up with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It in the beginning, it broke me down. But once nilipita hiyo phase ya kubreak down, ilini push sana. So yeah, hivyo ndio growth yangu ilikuwa.
Bro, so kutoka patch ukaenda high school gani?
Nikaenda high school. So high school, maybe ni fast forward high school. Because high school were crazy years. Nikaenda, wacha high school. Nikaenda Campo USIU. USIU nikaendelea na swimo. Actually, the USIU team, we won university games twice in a row. Swimo. Then after USIU nika graduate, nikaingia career kidogo. Then I went to the UK, like I was telling you.
Yeah.
Nikaenda UK
for your masters.
Nikarudi.
And now, you know, and I like when you say that you look at your upbringing. Because pia mimi niko ule mse, I mean, grow ya nai. But mother, alikuwa na make sure tukifunga chuo Friday, Monday, first thing in the morning, nimepelekwa tea room, nimechukua matri za kwenda Nyeri.
Manzi.
And I was there the entire, in fact, nilikuwa narudi nai, Sunday, tunafungwa chuo Monday.
Ala, hiyo ndio ilikuwa maisha yako?
Yeah.
So when did you all citizen?
Every holiday.
Manzi.
So nikiwa na wife na mama nataka kwenda Ocha na shindwa. Nataka kwenda Ocha kudu. Like because it's my part of my upbringing. Unacheki, and I can't disassociate myself from that. And I'm like, I want my kids to experience this. Lakini my life ilikuwa the same too.
Oh man, I'm so glad. So you understand when I say
kupeleka ngombe kwa fori, zika feed, you know, but and also playing with my cousins. It was so formative for me as well. And I don't think nimekuwa na podcast na msee yani tuna associate na yeye stories za ukifunga chuo unapelekwa Ocha immediately.
Ilikuwa like clockwork shift.
Bro.
And nasunona,
but it kept me away from trouble.
Thank you. Very important.
It kept me away from I think that's one of the best things nikienda Ocha sikuwa na furahi that day.
Exactly.
And maybe the first 3 days nilikuwa na struggle, lakini after that unaingia tu kwa system, unajua una plan B.
Una plan B,
But I think it was so formative, and I think what happened was it completely kept me out of trouble with boys in the hood, because mimi nimegrow ya Kangemi.
Na huko influence ni noma.
Buda. Kule mazee ilikuwa ni mwenda. Mimi I think ningeachiwa nai Kangemi ningepotea.
Man.
You're
ni powerful, bro. Your sentiment ni powerful.
I thank God that my mom
alikuwa na hiyo wisdom.
Alikuwa na hiyo wisdom na in fact was a no-brainer for her, bro. It was a no-brainer. From when I was like 6 years old. Immediately chap. Nyeri. Kimbia.
Your story many bamba.
Yeah, man. For you, what about family, man?
Nice.
How is family for you?
It's great. My bro is sitting there. As you can see. But my daughter is 8. And my daughter is sometimes me on our dem najiona tu in her. She's amazing. She's a swimmer now. She's incredible. She has such a strong personality. She's so outgoing. Like mi na yeye tunaweza argue for hours yani. But I love her so much. My son is 5. My son has a different personality. Mamake amemharibu.
New boy.
Sons and their daughters. My son is on his own path as well. He's going to become a king. Like thinking yake pia ni tofauti.
Yeah.
Na I think for my 2 kids, my wife and I, what we're doing, incredible. My wife supports me in everything that I do. But the hizi vitu zote nafanya, if you don't have a supportive spouse and a supportive family, you can't do it.
You can't do it.
Bro,
Yeah.
wezi enda utrain 16 hours. Utaulizwa maswali, utasumbuliwa. Uko wapi? Utasumbuliwa.
Yeah.
But I think for me, family, the one important thing is intentionality. I challenge myself, bro, to be in the life of my kids. And I think that's
what's up, man.
And to me, the biggest influence, nikienda niambie Pendo, do not do this. And the biggest impact that I can have on her is her watching me not doing it, or her watching me doing it. And to me, the thing that I've learned over the years, if I want to transfer a value system to the people around me, live by example.
Yeah.
So I'm deliberately putting time for them. And they're so important to me. Na sitaacha. Na hii kitu ni muhimu kwangu because back to that generational story. Manze bro, whether we like it or not, wazazi wetu hawakuwa na hii level of intentionality. And why I'm giving this story is because nimeona tu age mates wangu where they've gone a different path. And to me, they've gone a different path because your support system haikuwa. Na mimi na challenge tu age mates wangu. Let's be there for our kids. We are raising a generation of kings and queens.
Yeah.
Let's not leave it to chance. Bro, let's mold them. Let's mold the generation that's coming after us.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love your intentionality.
Yeah.
And even as we were talking earlier, you mentioned about how, your kids were in church when us guys were there. They're wondering, also kubamba kumendaje. Why that intentionality to make sure that they're also in the church space?
To me, church is very important. Spirituality is very important because there's a baseline value you get when you go to church. Well, the teachings of the church have a baseline value.
Yeah.
Secondly, the reinforcement of people who think like you is critical. Like, honestly, if you go and read the scripture by yourself, and if you go and read the scripture and be in an environment where there are many other people, the impact would be more. Like, you move together in numbers. And as in everything in life, no man is an island.
Yeah.
And I think together, and also like when you face challenges, even in scripture, if you start questioning certain things or you have certain challenges, if you have people around you who have either gone through the same or who are struggling together, you can solve together.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why it's important that they grow up in that environment.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking you that question is because you talked about how intentional you are with your kids. Including taking them to church. Alafu, you and I, we know that we're in a space where waseni kama wapeleki watoi church. And we say you're only one generation away from walking away from God completely.
Manze.
Just one generation.
Ni moja tu.
Yeah.
That's powerful, man. That's powerful.
It's just, if you look at history, that's exactly what happened in Europe. It's just me. I stopped going to church.
And then that's it.
I stopped taking my kids to church. That's it.
Wow.
That's it, bro. You disconnect with God. Your kids disconnect with God. What's next after that?
That's it.
They grew a generation that did not know God. And so we have guys who are watching again the podcast and they're like, Mystery is a church. And I know church has its heart. Mystery is a God. But, what can you tell guys, about the intentionality and the importance of making sure that we... Mazi kuna places zingine tusiondoke. Mutakuwa shtua nini?
Manze, hiyo kitu umesema ni muhimu. But your age, especially age 0 to 18, by the way, when your child turns 18, there's nothing you can do about it because you'll make the choices. But the first thing is, teach your child to be able to make the right choice. Like, usidram hizo vitu kwake, but mfundishe the ability to make a choice. And I feel like your age 0 to 18, spirituality is so important because itamsaidia in ways where when you're not there, nako confused, kuna kitu anaweza fall back on. To me, like, worst case scenario, you don't have to go to church every Sunday. I personally do not go to church every Sunday, but I think it's important that my kids do it so that they have that foundation. Another thing is, kitu tu ina utapata huko is a value-based upbringing. Na manze, if you don't believe in any of those things, I'm sure you believe in values. I'm sure you want your child to grow up with the right values. And imagine that place is where you'll get right values.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've never seen like negative. Okay, there's some places where there's negative side in that world.
All over the world.
Yeah. But when you land at the right place, your child will grow up with the right values.
Yeah.
And that's really critical because you're not going to be with your child 24/7.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And now we're getting to the Christmas season, bana.
Hey.
Hii weekend ni ya Chrissy, bro.
Manze.
What are your plans?
Hey, first of all, Chrissy, niko a bit disappointed. And I'll tell you why. It's a bit sad for me. Like every Christmas, in make sure me nilikuanga naenda Ocha.
Yeah.
My grandmother was very important to me. My grandmother taught us so much.
Yeah.
She taught us a lot of values. Na ilikuanga tu hiyo form ya mnaenda Ocha. Ma food ziko tu hapo kila mahali. Yeah. Fanta orange.
Man.
Kama hujakunywa Fanta orange the whole year.
Utaikunywa hizi.
Lakini nakumbuka kulikuwa na part moja tulikuwa tunachukia. Manze mnaamshwa asubuhi, mnavaa matching outfits nyote. Mnapakwa Vaseline yani mnashine mnaenda kanisa. Mnaimba nini praise worship nini alafu mnakam home mnabonda
na familia now extended family.
Inakuwa tu bash ingine noma mna dish yani. I miss those days. Anyway, so we lost my grandmother this year. So
bro.
I used to go to shags every year without fail. My kids grew up in that system, like they know. Like every year walikuwa naenda shags. But because she's no longer there, we're not going. So on the 25th, we're going to be at Bian's house. So we are recreating that thing, but now in Nairobi. So family and friends at Bian's house, just having a good time, enjoying ourselves. You're on your form.
Yuko sawa.
You're on your form.
Yuko sawa. And of course, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Manze. Yeah.
And thank you so much for gracing us, man, with the podcast today, Bana.
I know. No, it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
You've made me talk about things that I love. Except moja tu, let me do a shameless plug.
Please go ahead. Plug it in.
I have an amazing project that's coming. One of my directors also, you spoke to him.
Yeah.
He's an author.
Yeah, Polycarp.
Polycarp is an author in the children's space.
We have his books.
Thank you, Manzi. And thank you for supporting me.
Bro.
Yeah.
Kuna moja sijabai.
Gani hiyo?
So ilikuwa ni Sulwe part 2.
Yeah, Sulwe part 2.
So we bought the first one.
Yeah.
So I didn't know he had a second one.
Yes.
Alikuwa ametoa, so I need to go and get it.
Go and get it, please. And first of all, what Melissa is a CEO. So
yes.
What Melissa is doing is so incredible.
Melissa
guys.
and I used to go to church together.
Yeah.
Good peoples, man.
And
our kids walikuwa naenda kwa nini? In the same Bible, like for the toddlers.
Yes.
Yeah, so my wife and Melissa walikuwa pamoja na watu wao kwa hiyo nini yao.
That's interesting.
She's incredible, bro.
Lakini wewe, how many amazing guys do you know?
In fact, I need to have Melissa. I need to have Melissa here.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, because of the incredible work she's doing for telling our stories for kids to be able to learn from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she's such an impactful individual. I endorse that. Bring her here. And Melissa is playing such an important role because we need to tell our stories to our children.
Yeah.
We need to tell them the African story.
Yes.
Luanda Magere, you talked about the musical.
Yeah.
Your child should know about Luanda Magere in her world. Unajua ukimpeleka musical labda itampamba.
Yeah.
But if there's an animated version
we had
of
those things, but I remember reading it in primary school na ilikuwa na mapicha za nani Luanda Magere huko.
Bas.
Akidungwa na mshale.
Lakini manze, and I'm just gonna say this shamelessly. Mbona akina Dora, akina sijui Spider-Man, akina Snow White, mbona hizo vitu zinapepea hapa? Guys, we have our own story.
Yeah, we're not telling our stories.
And Soul Kids, thank you, Soul Kids. You are playing an important role of telling that story to our kids because they need to understand our culture because they're the next generation.
Yeah.
So in that same space, I'm authoring a comic with Melissa as well.
That's what's up.
This is a logo.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. And
what's the name? It looks like the face mask. Looks like a fish.
Bah! Let me do this.
Si ni samaki.
Samaki. So ni samaki. Hii ni samaki, hii ni rocket. Samaki is obviously my swimming ability.
Yeah.
Rocket is speed.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's what's
So
up.
the comic is called SuperNjero. And
I like that, man.
yeah, thank you. And basically, it's a comic that we're trying to instill values to our readers.
That's what's
and
up.
we're going to tell stories of not just a young Jero, but stories of incredible young guys who've made it.
Yeah.
And the issue here is how do we tell the story of them, their turning point, their issues, their problems, because life has problems, how they overcame and how they became successful, because that process is important. But in a fun and incredible way. And so that's a space that I want to play because as we've been talking today, we have a responsibility.
We do.
Yeah.
We cannot wish for those things.
No.
We have to actively, intentionally.
Yeah. So the comic is ready. We're looking at Q1 next year release.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something so cool about this comic. Melissa and I didn't sit down in a room and just write it. We went to schools, bro. We went and spoke to the consumer, to young guys.
Yeah.
What do you think about this character? What do you think he should look like? Our way, they broke my heart. We put characters, a bald kid, mtoi yako na afro, mtoi yako na dreads, mtoi yako na fade, I'm a punk, unakumbuka punk.
Yeah.
And I was like, these kids will pick a bald guy like me. Walichagua msi yako na afro.
Yeah, because that's where they are.
That's where they are. And if you look at our main character, he has an afro.
That's what's up.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because sometimes when you're developing a product, remove your emotion and your bias.
Yeah, it's not about you.
Yeah. Speak to the consumer.
Yeah.
We have our main message, but we are using the consumer and how they think and how they feel. And that's how we've done our product.
Dude.
Yeah.
How Jewy. Nanjero, I don't know if you know how much these conversations have impacted. Like, I think you're God sent to me.
Oh man, it's an honor.
This is a great, let me say this. I think that this is a great Christmas gift to me from God, because listening to you, there are many things I believe in. And it's like you've affirmed them in our conversation that we were having.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad.
And I feel extremely challenged as well and motivated for what 2024 holds. And even maybe, let me say, from this point moving forward, just having this conversation is it's so uplifting, bro. And listening to you and the things that you're doing and, you know, the things that you're working on and the conversations that we've had, bro, it's umenijenga, bro.
Manze.
Nasisemi kuku, yani,
to gas me up.
No. I'm like, this was good for me.
Okay.
I don't know about the listeners. This was good for me.
Great.
I'm so deeply grateful, Bana.
Yeah. And just on that tip, I'm glad that there's been an impact on you because Kubamba TV, zile vitu mnafanya. Manze naona tu timu ya wasee wako hapa. I hope wanaelewa ile kitu wanafanyia society. When you were telling me the story of Karatina, my heart was warming up, manze.
Oh, bro.
Mumenda mashinani.
Thank you, man.
Do you know how hard it is, what you're doing, how hard that is? It's like your team is consciously going to the grassroots.
Yeah.
Bro. It would have been easier for you to stay in Nairobi. When the Jerry, when the Kite, when the Athi River, when the Macha, like it's easy, bro.
Yeah.
And you can have a circuit the whole year here in Nairobi.
Yeah.
But you're decentralizing and you're going to the grassroots.
Thank you, man.
That is incredible. And asante. And also for me, that has inspired me because that's what we want. Let's impact all the Kenyans.
Completely, man. Completely, man. Aki, thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, asante, man.
This has been so good, man.
1 hour imeshaisha.
Bro. Tumeenda how long? There it goes. It's been a good conversation.
When you're having great conversations, time flies.
Time flies, man.
Yeah.
Nanjero, big shout out to you. And wish you all the best as you get ready for the Grammy of the triathlons.
Asante.
Yeah, it's called the
Norseman.
Norseman. That's it. That's where you're going.
That's where I'm going.
In Norway, man. Please do let us know as Kubamba how it is that we can be able to support. Us guys will be more than glad to support you, man.
Thank you.
A big shout out going out to Susan and her wonderful team, Mazea baby. They are hosting us at their wonderful, wonderful restaurant. I'm just about to have their Kenyan breakfast. Ni uji. Ile uji ya brown. Misikumbuka the last time nilikunywa.
Ile fermented ile.
Inile mita mkakatio. Say
hiyo
come
ni
through
poa,
bana. Yeah
manze.
bana. Alafu kuna ngwashe na ndoma. Nikisha dishi hiyo naweza hadi 4. Si lazima ni dishi.
Utadishi,
Yeah,
manze.
mimi niko sawa itaniweka set vipo.
Utafeel nika uko Nyeri tena, si
Yeah,
ndio?
yeah, yeah. Inanirudisha back to my roots.
Manze.
Yeah, hiyo ndio ilikuwa grandmother alikuwa anatudunga hizo mbaya. Yeah bana.
Love it.
Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you. And again, thank you for having me here.
No, thank
and
you.
please don't stop.
No, you and I are going to continue.
Yeah.
Hii relationship inaanza leo, tunabadilishana contacts.
Ehe.
Na tunaendelea hii ubeshte inaendelea hapa tu.
Shukran sana.
Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah.
And to all our listeners, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, guys. May God be with you. And yeah, spread some love, man. Spread some love. Yeah, for me, the significance about Christmas and namaliza na hii is, this is, and I was telling guys at the K-Crew Bible study the other day, the beautiful thing about Christmas is first it was a time of rejoicing, when Christ was born, the angels came down and they were like, oh, man, guys, this amazing thing has happened, that the Son of God, yani, amekuja duniani. Now, the bigger thing is it's God himself taking on this form of a man as a baby. Yani, alijihumble. So for you and I, let's celebrate, but then let's also humble ourselves. Let's go ahead and share some love. Spread some cheer around, and may God be with you. May God bless you. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whomever believes in him, that's Jesus Christ, and is the reason for the season, shall not perish but shall have everlasting life. May God be with you. Merry Christmas, guys.